Coverage of the 2019 NZ Superstock Teams Championships comes to you from Robertson Holden International Speedway and is brought to you by NZ. Bordered by the stunning Tararua Ranges on one side and the Manawatu River on the other, New Zealand's 8th largest city, Palmerston North, is a place of contrast. Adventurous wide open spaces dovetail seamlessly with a vibrant modern cityscape, catering to a diverse range of cultures and styles. Sport plays a huge part in the city's heritage. It boasts New Zealand's most comprehensive rugby museum and a plethora of sports fields and venues. But it's sport of a different kind that dominates in the first weeks of February each year, the gladiatorial sport of Superstock car teams racing. Each year, teams from every corner of New Zealand, 13 in total, gather at the Central Energy Trust Arena to fight for national supremacy in the ultimate title showdown. Leading the charge, the defending champions, the Palmerston North Panthers.
It's a fantastic result, for the Panthers to come through with a great win, and with the new fellas, young ones in there now, we've only got sort of two of the oldies left, and probably next year one of them will move on.
These young boys here in our team, they just stood up and just went for it. It's real good to see. We'll be right for this year. We'll be hopefully on song.
Some of the rowdiest fans in the stands will be hoping for a first ever win for the Rotorua Rebels.
Oh, they're awesome. Our fans are awesome. My wife's over there somewhere trying to sell merchandise, and she just got swamped with people, and all the shirts are looking good, and now we've got heaps of good fans.
Led by a true legend of Superstocks, the Gisborne Giants have been undergoing intense preparations.
We've done the South Island trip, New Zealand's and GP Worlds 2 weeks ago, and then we spent the last 2 weeks pretty full on rebuilding these for this weekend.
The Giants' Derby neighbours, Hawke's Bay, have high hopes for this year's championship.
There's big highs in the team. There's probably not one low in this team, so no excuses not to get to the final, really.
6 times finalists, the Wanganui Warriors, are looking to make history this year and claim their first ever win.
We've all been flat out working on our cars, getting them right, making sure they're right. A couple of us probably haven't raced for a couple of weeks just to make sure we got it right for this weekend.
Auckland have only ever made the final once. They're looking for a return to form.
The plan, obviously tonight is to qualify for tomorrow night, and we want to try and qualify well.
With 2 teams' champs titles under their belts, this year's rookie team of Mustangs have been flat out preparing for battle.
Yeah, it's been a busy couple of weeks, but looking forward to it, and the whole team's excited, and hope for the best.
When it comes to experience, it's hard to beat Bay Park's Kerry Remnant, looking for his 4th win for the Busters.
This is actually my 23rd consecutive event, so first night's going to be a challenge. Got a good bunch of guys here, so it should be a good event.
New blood for the only South Island team this year has lifted the hopes of veteran Malcolm Ngatai.
We got a couple of imports come to Christchurch this year, so we've Asher Reeves and Jaden Ward. We had a team racing there every week, so we're fit and ready. We think we've got a good show this weekend.
Recent good form for the Wildcats has them brimming with confidence coming into qualifying.
Got a pretty good squad this year. We're able to have 2 warm-up races with Hawke's Bay and picked up the result both times against those guys, so we're out for the job.
Building momentum are the Stratford Scrappers. Relatively unchanged in line-up for this year, they're sure to be in with a shot.
Over the last couple of years, we've got a good group of guys together, and the nucleus of the team has stayed very much the same, so hopefully we're building on that, and now we need is a bit of luck on our side, and we hopefully go a long way.
And of course the Poms, 3-time finalists in a sport they only practice in New Zealand.
Nothing like it still. We just race individually normally back home. Obviously out to win a race, that's it. There's no blocking, no waiting, no taking people out. Different way of thinking, a different way of racing. You need the run of the green right through, and hopefully we'll get it this year.
Heat 1 was a battle of the near neighbours, with the Bay Park Busters taking on the Rotorua Rebels. A stoppage late in the race decided it when 2 of the Bay Park boys didn't see the green on the restart due to the low sun, and Rotorua pounced. The Stratford Scrappers faced a resurgent new-look Canterbury Eagles, and it was the veteran Malcolm Ngatai that shone. Try as they might, the Scrappers couldn't land the killer blow, and that meant the Cantabs went through. In the early going, it was all the Lions in qualifying Heat 3, but at half distance, that changed when the Waikato Wanderers hit back. when Blair Ashton took out Frankie Wainman Jr. Pom still won. The Warriors were in trouble early when a mistake saw Matty Wise spin Chad Ace. It was no better when Sean Smith was excluded for attacking Mike McLaughlin from the sidelines. It was Hawke's Bay's day. The most spectacular qualifying heat was between the Gisborne Giants and the Wellington Wildcats. Nick Valance, the victim of this Wellington shot. The red light stoppage also stopping Keegan Levine, which left Wellington wounded. And Peter Rees pounced for Gisborne to take the win. What was billed as a close run thing between a new-look Manitou Mustangs and the Auckland All-Stars was anything but, with the Mustangs taking the top 3 spots and winning easily, 105-40 for the hapless Aucklanders. Another one-sided contest to end the first round of qualifying between the Panthers and the Rebels. Palmerston North too fast, too strong and too powerful, with Scott Joblin taking the win and Palmy the points 165-30. The Canterbury Glen Eagles had already taken down the Stratford Scrappers, and when veteran Kerry Remnant couldn't get off the line, perhaps the writing was on the wall for the Busters. Jaden Ward took the win and the Cantabs were final bound for the first time in over 30 years. Waikato had fallen to the English in round 1 and a big hit by Gary Johnson meant Stratford were looking good. And when Wainman Jr. had to withdraw, it was sayonara Great Britain, the Scrappers going on for the win. Even without Mike McLennan, Hawke's Bay were dominant. An early victim, Waikato's Dave Moore, ending up on his side. Longtime Bay reserve Quinn Ryan getting the win for the Hawkeyes and the top qualifying spot. A win and a loss would be the scorecard for the Wellington Wildcats, easily taking down the Warriors from Wanganui, with Dale Robertson picking up the win for Wellington, 145-55. The 2 unbeaten teams from round 1 were next, with the Giants versus the Mustangs. The Gisborne family combo of Ethan and Peter Rees proving the difference, with Gisborne putting the Mustangs out to pasture. Final race of the night, the defending champs, the Panthers versus the Auckland All-Stars. A roll put Wayne Hemme out for the Panthers and damaged his car. Could Auckland pull off the huge upset and knock out the champs? No. Hometown boys prevailed 145-40. Scott Joblin, the hero. So we've found our finalists here at the 2019 NZ Superstock Teams Champs. It is Hawke's Bay, Palmerston North, Canterbury Glen Eagles and Gisborne through to the finals. So this is how the finals night will look. It'll be Tier 2 semi-finals first up and then the Tier 1 semis. Then we'll have the 5th and 6th runoff. Then it'll be 3rd and 4th. And the final event on the night will be the grand final. Welcome back to the Robertson Holden International Speedway. It is the NZ Superstock Teams Championship for 2019. First of our semi-finalists come out onto the track, and it will be the Wellington Wildcats versus the Great Britain Lions. And you'll see 2 Frankie Wainman Juniors, or Frankie Wainman Jr. That's Frankie's son. So it's the English on pole position, and already straight away goes the 52 for Wellington, and that's Paul Fairbrother. So he'll lead it. Already a bit of a tangle up there. Frankie Wainman Jr. in it, Levine in it as well. You're on board here, taking the 53 Productions onboard shots with both Ethan and Keegan Levine. So the brothers representing Wellington. We've got a father and son combination representing Great Britain. This is Keegan Levine trying to get around this little scrap going on here with the 52 of Paul Fairbrother and Frankie Wainman Jr. And that's going to continue by the look of it, proving a little bit of a traffic jam. Wainman Jr. trying to get on the act as well. Pushes him onto the infield. This is Levine getting a little bit of attention from Wainman Jr. and spins him round. You're on board as he spins. So the 217 from Great Britain is Fairhurst getting into the side of Levine. You're riding with Levine as they hit, but Levine keeps going. There's nothing Fairhurst can do about it. A little bit of a touch there. Levine passes, so he would now be heading towards the front. You're on board here with Keegan Levine in the 46, and it is the 166 of Griffin that gets into him, and he comes off second best. So the English aren't having a pretty good run of this. This is number 5, and this is Keegan Levine. In behind him it is the 217, and that is Fairhurst from Great Britain, and this is going to continue right down into the wall. And once again, Levine manages to get away from it. Fairbrother out in the front now for Wellington. Levine comes right back at the 217 of Fairhurst for Great Britain. In there as well as Frank Wainman Jr. Now the 166 Griffin tries to put the 46 of Levine into the concrete. You were riding with him as he takes the impact here at Robertson Holden International Speedway. So the 166 keeps on going, and that is Bobby Griffin from the UK. You're on board here with Ethan Levine in the 46. Here is Frankie Wainman, just threading his way around, just gives the 46 a bit of a touch-up as well, tries to put him into the wall, and it doesn't work for him, and Levine tries to put Wainman Jr. into the wall. They're going off onto the infield, so they've come down to a halt. Here's the 217. Now, this is Fairhurst from Great Britain. You're riding here with Keegan Levine as he tries to line him up and gives him a shot and gets past. Wainman Jr. looks like he might be hurt. He's slowed down dramatically. 7 is Davis getting into the side of Fairhurst there. They come to a halt as well. You're riding on board here with Ethan Levine. He's scraping himself off the wall, and Fairhurst has another go at Davis. They head on to the infield. So there's little battles going on all around the place. We're tracking the 515. This is Frankie Wainman Jr. A little bit of smoke pouring out of the Levine car. Levine tries to show him the wall. It doesn't work for him, and then gets cleaned up by the 75. Frank Wainman drives into the side of Levine, puts Levine into the concrete. Both of them get going again, but then Wainman is cleaned up by Shane Davies, so it is breaking out right around. Remember, this is a Tier 2 semi-final. 217, Fairhurst has come to a halt. Have we got the red lights out? I think we have. We have. Wainman's got damage, and the crowd want to see him on the infield. So have a look on the replay here. This is where the damage happens for Wainman, I think. I think it takes one of the wheel covers off, and that's why Wainman's off onto the infield. This is the restart. 5:55 is Wainman Jr. on board here with Ethan Levine. Right in the heat of the mixture there is Jr. Meantime, Levine continues. Jr. comes back off the grass and back out onto the racetrack. Keegan Levine in the 5W. He'd be the race leader, I would think. Threading his way through the traffic. Got a fair head of steam on as he works his way down towards the checkered flag. And Wellington will get the win. So Keegan Levine draws first blood for the Wildcats. That's his brother Ethan that's put himself into the wall and then had a little bit of a help from 555, and that is Frankie Wainman Jr. So action breaking out right at the very end of it. Keegan Levine, though, gets the win. In second place, it will be Shane Davis. So Wellington 1 and 2. Then it's Bobby Griffin from Great Britain. Have a look on the replay. You're riding with Ethan Levine as he slams into the wall.
It's hard. The job coming out here is really hard. We need some more support. And, we need to improve a couple of the cars, and the drivers need more experience.
We got the jump on them. Keegan Levine's a fantastic runner and managed to get out in front pretty quick, and I think I was third, and yeah, the race just seemed to go our way, and we're just bloody fortunate to have a great group of guys that can all do their job.
So Paul Fairbrother there with the checkered flag as we get set for semi-final Tier 2, number 2. It is the Manawatu Mustangs versus the Stratford Scrappers, and it's the Scrappers on pole position, and away goes Paul Johnson, followed all the way by Dave Lowe, and already we've got problems out there. The 722 goes into the wall. That's David Lowe. You're right on board here with the 26 from the Scrappers. This is Mitch Vickery, and he's just stalking them, waiting to put another one of the Mustangs away. Just can't quite put the hit on at the moment. 34 is Rebecca Barr. She's the sandwich, or the meat, I should say, and the sandwich of the Stratford Scrappers at the moment. On board here with the 26. He spun right round. Luckily, his teammate missed him. He's got it pointed in the right direction now, though. The 52 comes through. And that's Gary Johnson trying to put the hit on Brendan Charlin, but they miss each other. Johnson goes on to the infield. We're back here with Vickery, getting the hurry up from Rebecca Barr. You're right on board here with Mitch Vickery. And the sun's going to be a bit of a problem in the early heats as well. You see a bit of a sunstrike there. And the 44 of Brendan Charlin trying to push Vickery off onto the infield and manages to do so. So now it's Gary Johnson on Charlin, passes him and gets into the front here. So looking good for the Stratford Scrappers. Mitch Vickery is back onto the racetrack and lying in wait by the look of it. Round the outside of him comes Johnson. Vickery just forms now into the blocking role and nails the number 6, but unfortunately tips himself upside down as well. So that's going to bring on the red light, so we'll come to a halt. That's Justin Cunningham, and there's a fire in the Cunningham car by the look of it, but it's Gary Johnson on his side. That was the initial red light. So things come down to a bit of a halt. We get going again. This is Rebecca Barr in the 34 for the Mustangs. Right in behind her, gives her a shot as they work down the front straight here at Palmerston North. This is Mitch Vickery. You're on board here taking the NZ pictures of Vickery. I mentioned Sunstrike. It's a real problem. Another shot in the back for Rebecca Barr. So these two going at it like there's no tomorrow, and solid hit into the concrete for Rebecca Barr, and Mitch Vickery survives it, and the Reds come out again by the look of it. 54, Paul Johnson now. Back on board here with Vickery. He's got a problem with the steering. Look at the way the steering wheel is. Trying to line up the 34 of Rebecca Barr again, manages to do so, but it's looking pretty good here for the Scrappers as Paul Johnson goes into the front now. This is the 34 of Rebecca Barr. Trying to run down Vickery. Just manages to feed the bumper into him, trying to push him onto the infield, and does so. But it's too little too late, and the Scrappers are going to take this one out quite comfortably in the end. So the Stratford Scrappers win the Tier 2 semi-final number 2 against the Manawatu Mustangs. There is Mitch Vickery. He was certainly a protagonist. So Paul Johnson gets the win. In second place, another of the Scrappers, and that is Hamish Booker. And then it was the Mustangs' Rebecca Barr. The Scrappers win it. Here's the Dutech replay. This is Mitch Vickery's view of Rebecca Barr. Pushes Barr into the concrete.
We had a plan there at the start, and it was one of those races where it almost went exactly to plan. That Sunstrike up the back straight is quite tricky. As we found out, one of our cars but he get caught out, but yeah, pretty good race. Boys had a plan, stuck to it, went well.
Plenty more action to come here from Palmerston North. It's the 2019 NZ Superstock Teams Champs. Welcome back to the NZ Teams Championship for 2019. We're into the Tier 1 finalists. This is first versus fourth. So it's the Hawke's Bay Hawkeyes versus the Gisborne Giants. Hawke's Bay Hawkeyes, the fastest qualifiers, or the best qualifiers, with 325 points. The Giants, 270. First v fourth. Away goes Valence by the look of it. Nick Valence has got away to a good start. 87 there is Thomas Stanaway. Oh, and Quinn Ryan's nailed Peter Rees. And then Tarrant, I think, goes in and cleans him up. And also getting in on the act is the number 1, and that's Jason Long. That's huge ramifications for the Giants. So Peter Rees, the engine stalled. You hear him trying to crank it back up again. This is number 1. This is Jason Long. He's the New Zealand champion. Nearly gets himself up on the wall trying to get around one of his teammates. Might have been Tom Stanaway. Another big hit coming in there on Valence. The 66 involved again, and that is Randall Tarrant. Well, he's going to be the enforcer in this one by the look of it. And they stalk the Gisborne runner. You're on board here with Ethan Rees. And he's in the mix of this as well. And up and over goes the 87 of Thomas Stanaway. And that's going to bring the red lights on as well. Spectacular stuff here at Palmerston North. And what a hit there from Ethan Rees. It stopped Rees as well, but he did the job. Have a look at it again on the replay from a different angle. Rees just gets into the side of the 87 and pushes him up the wall. Here it is again. Oh, and that was a big, big impact. End for end rollover for Thomas Stanaway. And how high did he go onto the fence? Unbelievable stuff here at Palmerston North. Jason Long and Randall Tarrant come to a halt. They know the lights are coming on. We get back into the action here from Rees as he feeds in Stanaway. Stanaway walks away. That's the good news. But we'll gather up and do it all again. And why wouldn't the 17,000 be on their feet? Randall Tarrant leading them. Right in behind him is the 331 of James Kirk. And it breaks out again. The 66 involved again. Randall Tarrant. You're on board here with Kirk. Jason Long spun up just in front of him. He's the New Zealand champion. So too the 45 of Nick Valence. Everyone looking for fighting room here. Long stopped. I don't think he can get going again. On board looking out the back window of James Kirk for the Giants. As the Hawkeyes regroup again. Another huge hit coming in from Tarrant. Well, he's been the enforcer in this one. Right in behind him is Quinn Ryan. Now, is Quinn Ryan going to be the runner? Gets into the side of Valence. Valence climbs the concrete but doesn't go over. You're riding here with James Kirk. He tries to get Long by the look of it. Can't do it. The red flags come out. The lights come on again. Have a look at it on the replay. The 66, another big hit into the side of Valence. And Valence hard into the wall. taking the onboard pictures here from Quinn Ryan. And he's going to find himself clear track. No, he doesn't. We lose the camera in the impact, such with the force of it. And the 66 stops as well. Kirk for the Giants trying to prevent Tarrant going ahead. Meantime, it's the 46 for the Hawkeyes, and that is Quinn Ryan that's going to run away with this one by the look of it. Now, what can the Giants do about it? 1 lap to go, and it's the 46 of Quinn Ryan. Well, he did a job for them in the qualifying, and he's done the job for them here in the first of the Tier 1 finals. The Hawkeyes are going to go through, are they? And another huge hit coming in from Tarrant, and that was to stop James Kirk interfering with the 46. Quinn Ryan, as he comes down to the checkered flag. 46 it is that carries the day, and that is Quinn Ryan. He's going to win it for the Hawke's Bay Hawkeyes. We've found our first finalist, and it is the Hawke's Bay Hawkeyes, 140-25. The Gisborne Giants weren't in it, and Quinn Ryan gets the win here in Tier 1 final number 1. And are they stoked, or are they stoked? Tarrant out of the car onto the back of Quinn Ryan. The checkered flag comes out, and that's the first finalist.
Yeah, we've got the win, so pretty bloody happy really, and just spur of the moment and stuck for words, but happy as of how the car is, and go the Bay.
Well, the quiet before the storm as we get set for the second of the Tier 1 semi-finals. This to find the finalists against the Hawke's Bay Hawkeyes, and it is the Suck It Up Eagles, so-called, the Canterbury Glen Eagles versus last year's defending champions, and that is the Palmerston North Panthers. And away goes Asher Rees, and Peter Bingston holding up the second line. Rees was on pole position. You ride with him here, and he's got nothing but clear track in front of him. But I would imagine it'll be all going on behind him. The 971, that's Jaden Ward getting some attention from the 94 of Humphreys. They're on board looking out the back window. Humphreys trying to get up around the outside of him, trying to put on a shot as well was Harley Robb for the Eagles, and he manages to do so, but coming off second best, I think, was William Humphreys there. Back on board here with Asher Rees. Up ahead of him, one of the blockers for Palmerston North, and that's Peter Bingston. Bingston spins around the 991, and that is Harley Robb. Meantime, Asher Rees continues his dominance, slams into the back of Humphreys and carries on, or does he? Trying to get around the outside of Humphreys. Humphreys doing the job, trying to block Asher Rees. Remember, this is the race leader, and Humphreys doing a great job, and he's trying to put Asher Rees into the concrete, and he gets it done nearly. Yes, he does. He halts the progress, and into the front comes another one of the Eagles. Nearly going up onto its side was Asher Rees. You're on board here with Jaden Ward now, and spinning around is the 52, and that is past national champion Scott Joblin. Meantime, they're tangled up here. Humphreys and Rees trying to get out of it. Rees has got the 126 going again for the Canterbury Glen Eagles, and he's got into the side of William Humphreys and put him into the wall, but he spun around facing the wrong way. Oh, that's a dangerous position for Asher Rees. We go back on board here with Jaden Ward. He gets another big hit from Wayne Hemi by the look of it, and getting around the outside of that little confrontation is the 52 of Scott Joblin. Back on board here with Ward, being chased down at the moment by the Palmerston North Panthers en masse. Once again, Wayne Hemi tries to get into the side of him. Meantime, Jordan Dare trying to look for clear traffic here and getting protection as well. Bankston doing the protection work for Jordan Dare. So 3 Panthers, first, second and third at the moment. Scott Joblin in there as well. You're back on board here with Asher Rees. Just up ahead of him is Joblin. Joblin spins it round sideways, trying to halt the progress of Asher Rees. Doesn't work. Joblin faces the wrong way. Asher continues on. Jaden Ward doing a great job for the Canterbury Glen Eagles as well. Puts Humphreys onto the infield. Well, it's gone horribly wrong for the Palmerston North Panthers here in semi-final number 2, but it is going so well for the Canterbury Glen Eagles. Peter Bingston out on his own at the moment, back on board here, looking out the back of Jaden Ward. It's Bingston that tries to get into the side of him, but it doesn't work, and Bingston spins himself around and gets collected, I think, by Asher Rees in the process. Back on board here with Rees. Just up ahead of him, it's Jordan Dare. And they're trying to halt the progress of Rees here. And just in behind him, this is Wayne Hemi. And you see the 19 of Nato getting into the act as well. So they're trying to double team Asher Rees here. So back on board here with Rees, just in front of him Jordan Dare. Jordan Dare goes around, and that was with a little bit of help from Asher Rees, but right in behind him. Oh, and the 58 looking to round up Malcolm Nartai and doesn't do it, spins himself out. Nartai out into clear traffic now. This is looking so good for the Canterbury Glen Eagles after 31 years of trying. Are they going to make a final here? 94's injured. That is William Humphries. He's got smoke and flames and sparks pouring from the 94, but he continues on. I think he's got 2 flat tyres as well. It's gone horribly wrong for Humphries, but he continues on. In behind him is Peter Bengston. But out in the front, it's the Glen Eagles. Asher Rees doing a fantastic job. The only problem he's got at the moment is the rear vision mirror keeps falling down. Into the back of the 94 of William Humphrey goes Asher Reed. He's trying to strike the killer blow on the past New Zealand champion, the 94, and that is Humphreys. And Humphreys won't give it up. Badly injured. He's got a flat right rear, I should say. That's what's causing the sparks. I think it's the rim rubbing on the protection block there. Meantime, Nartai goes around this stricken Humphreys, and now Asher Rees trying to do the same thing. And Asher Rees can't find a way around the 94 of Humphreys. Even though Humphreys wounded, he's doing a great job keeping Rees at bay, and that's allowed Scott Joblin to go through into second place. This is the battle for third and fourth. Rees is going to get the nose in front. Does he? No, I don't. Yes, he does, just as they go across the line. So Asher Rees will get credited with third. So that means that Malcolm Nartai will win it. Scott Joblin will be second. Asher Rees is third. But can you believe it? After 31 years of trying, the Canterbury Glen Eagles are into the final. And look at this, the jubilation on the faces of the suck-it-up Eagles here at Palmerston North. We've found our finalists. Welcome back to Robertson International Speedway. It is the 2019 NZ Superstock Team Championships. We've found our finalists. This is the runoff for 5th and 6th place. It's the Gisborne Giants versus the Stratford Scrappers. So on pole position, it is the Gisborne Giants, and that looks like it is Nick Valance, and he gets away the best of all. And going with him there was Vickery, I think. Ethan Rees away now as well. There is Vickery. There is the 127 of Rees. Vickery played such an amazing dual role in the qualification, doing a fantastic job for the Stratford Scrappers, but really in the qualifying they left their run just a little bit late. James T. Kirk, the captain, getting involved there with the 82 of Booker. And Gary Davis runs right up over his left front and amazingly keeps going, and I think the 82 of Hamish Booker is going to keep going as well. The 54 out in the front now. This is Blair Johnson. He's the reserve driver. He's been called in to sub for Paul. He's doing a pretty good job. Carl Shearer gets spun around by one of the Gisborne Giants. We're on board here with Vickery, and just getting out of his way was the 54, and that's Blair Johnson. And into the wall goes the 82 of Hamish Booker, got in there with a little bit of help from Asher Rees. You're right here with Rees as he tries to round up another one of the scrappers. Vickery gets away though. Mitch Vickery in the 26. There's the 31, and that's Gary Davis. He's already played a big part in this one. Booker's got himself off the wall, but you can see the front end damaged on the 82, and Davis puts him into the wall for a second time. Nick Valance closes in on Blair Johnson. Remember, the reserve driver called in. Meantime, Kirk's putting another one of the scrappers into the wall. Hamish Booker looking for redemption there on Gary Davis. Meantime, Vickery misses all the carnage and stays on his winning way. 75, Carl Shearer takes one off onto the infield and gets back going again. This is looking pretty darn good for the Stratford Scrappers. So the 54 makes contact with the 31, and that's Davis and Johnson arguing about it. Up the wall goes Johnson, and over the front of the Johnson car goes the 31 of Davis, and it's on its side. So have a look at this on the replay, and it just looks like Gary Davis just trips over the front of the 54 and rolls himself out of contention. This is from early on in the evening. This is Gary Davis getting over the front of the 82 of Hamish Booker. We go back into real time. You're riding here with Ethan Rees, getting a bit of a treatment there from Carl Shearer. Shearer trying to put him off onto the infield. Can't get the job done. Hamish Booker in the wars again. This time it's Captain Kirk, James Kirk, all over the back of the 82. And while this is happening, Nick Valance has just set sail and headed towards the front. Back on board here with Ethan Rees, 75. Carl Shearer is the victim. Spins him off onto the infield. So Rees doing a fantastic job as the blocker, but Mick Valance has done the job and got the win for the Gisborne Giants. So Nick Valance does the job for the Giants. Blair Johnson through in second for the Scrappers. Then it's Mitch Vickery and then Ethan Rees. Gisborne Giants win it 120 to 75. Probably not what they were looking for at the beginning of the weekend, but fifth place, pretty good for the Giants. So this is the runoff for third and fourth, and this was decided by the losing Tier 1 semi-final team that scored the most points against the winning Tier 2 team that scored the most points. That's why Palmerston North are facing the Wellington Wildcats. On pole position, it is Keegan Levine, and he gets away the best of all. This is the battle of the big cats, if you like. 581, this is Jordan Dare. He's got around the carnage that was going on behind him. You're right on board here with Keegan Levine. He was sitting on pole position. He's getting a bit of attention there. The 46, that is Ethan Levine, that's his brother, and Wayne Hemmy's put him into the concrete, but I think Hemmy's damaged himself as well. And there is Keegan Levine, and he is walled. Peter Bankston by the look of it. So Bankston hard up against the wall. Around goes Wayne Hemmy. You're on board here with Keegan Levine, stuck up against the concrete. And Ethan Levine facing the absolute wrong way. Wayne Hemmy's going to line him up. Oh, and I think Hemmy might have missed him. But I tell you what, the 94 didn't, and that was William Humphreys. And the 89 in there as well. And that's his teammate, Dale Robertson. And he had nowhere to go. So they both lined up Levine and got him. Meantime, this is Jordan Dare. And he's gone into the concrete all on his own, so you've got to feel for him. Maybe he's got a steering problem. Flat right front for Wayne Hemmy. Humphreys going again, trying to chase down the 46 of Ethan Levine. And now the red lights come on, and that is because Peter Bankston is up on his side, and the officials are saying that the roll cage was exposed. This is the replay from Levine's angle. That would be the most scariest thing he would have ever seen coming, because they just rounded him up and got him. Wayne Hemmy got through, Humphreys didn't. This is Wayne Hemmy. He's got steering issues, and he's put it into the wall again, so he's not going to take too much further part in this one. I didn't think the big red Walker is going to be beached, and 591 Hemmy comes out of it. Levine flirting with the concrete wall as well for Wellington. Jordan Dare gets into the side of another one of the Wildcats. And then a huge hit into the Robertson car by the look of it. And then Fairbrother cleans up Dare. Oh, what a massive hit right by the big crowd here at Palmerston North, and they love that. But Dare's going, and so too is Fairbrother. And then Hemmy comes in and tries to run the killer shot, and it doesn't work. So this is Jordan Dare. How did he survive that? Big part of the Panthers' winning effort last year and going to be a part of this one as well. Remember, this is a semi-final runoff. You're not going to see title number 19 for the Panthers. The finals between Christchurch and Hawke's Bay. You're back on board here with Keegan Levine in the 5W. He got the proceedings off to a start when he got away from them. Here is Jordan Dare, and he gets into the back of the 52 of Fairbrother, and Keegan Levine looks to try and put the double team on Dare, and it doesn't work. Here's his brother, the 46, and into the wall he goes, courtesy of Humphreys, and nearly tips it over. Humphreys keeps going and then gets absolutely smashed by Fairbrother. There is no love lost here. The Wildcats are out for blood. Stricken cars all over the track here, going for the block but never getting it, so Keegan Levine stays in control of this one. This is Ethan Levine, and you can see the wing has come down over the windscreen and he can't see where he's going. He's trying to pull the wing back. This is from the infield. He wants to get back into the scrap. This is Jordan Dare for the Palmerston North Panthers. Plenty of stricken cars on the field. Ethan Levine's got the wing sorted out by the look of it, and he's back on the journey. This is good news for the Wellington Wildcats. So you're right on board taking the 53 Productions pictures. There is the wing peeled right back. Meantime, it is Keegan Levine, his brother, just going past him. Jordan Deere off onto the infield. Has he got some damage there? And I think it might have been courtesy of Paul Fairbrother once again. Keegan Levine, meantime, continues on his winning way. White flag comes out, 1 to go for the Wellington Wildcats. Ethan Levine slams into Jordan Deere. Fairbrother and Levine double-team Deere and takes him out of the contest. And that means that 5W Keegan Levine is going to come through and take the win for the Wellington Wildcats. And the 17,000 people here are going absolutely nuts. Keegan Levine, you're riding with him here. Have a look at this from the replay. This is the double-teaming on Jordan Deere. Paul Fairbrother slows him down. Already the stricken Humphreys is in the way. And then watch this, full speed, and he lined him up from way back, did the 46 of Ethan Levine, and he finishes off Deere. You're riding on board, and that is a huge, huge impact for the 46, but he gets the job done, and Wellington get the job done as well, and they are third for 2019, and Palmerston North Panthers score no points. They are all wrecked on the sideline. Look at the ovation from the big crowd here. They love this. The Wellington Wildcats are back. There's no doubt about it.
I don't know. I'm just lost for words, mate. You know, third at team champs, I'll probably almost rate that better than 2 NZ the stock car. So yeah, we turned up here to win, and to get on the podium is just as big for us. You know, it's the return of the Wildcats, and it can only get better.
One race to come here at Palmerston North. It's the grand final, and that's next. Welcome back to the NZ Team Stock Car Championships for 2019. This is what the huge crowd's been waiting for. This is the grand final. And can you believe it? After 31 years, the Canterbury Glen Eagles are there. The Suck It Up Eagles versus the Hawke's Bay Hawkeyes. Hawke's Bay have been in the final 3 times in the last 4 years. They won it 2 years ago. Asher Rees will play a huge part in this for the Glen Eagles. The Holden Rodeo from Robertson Holden leaves the circuit for the last time, and away we go. It's 15 laps, it's not 10 that the other finals have been, and Asher Rees gets away. Quinn Ryan chases him. This is Jason Long on Malcolm Nartai. Looks a little bit tame for the early going. And the 66 will be in this one as well. He's been the enforcer through the qualifying heats and into the semis, and that is Randall Tarrant. 46, Quinn Ryan did the job for them in the earlier going. Can he do it again here? You're riding here with Jaden Ward from the Glen Eagles, the Canterbury Glen Eagles. Jaden Ward looking out the back window, and look at the speed. Once these Superstocks get going, they really do go, and that's Jason Long taking the long way. Meantime, the 971 gets walled, and that's Jaden Ward. Gets it back off the concrete though and keeps on going. Brilliant stuff here for the Canterbury Glen Eagles. Could we see history in the making? The 84 there is Mike McLaughlin in the tank. He'll be there to do a job on Jaden Ward and get spun out in the process. Ward gets away again. You're riding here with Ward. Now we're looking out the front of the 971. Asher Rees, 126 for the Glen Eagles, come down to Christchurch this year. Nartai's stopped. So too is one of the Hawkeyes, and that is the 46 of Quinn Ryan. On board here with Quinn Ryan. Well, this is going to be intense. Jaden Ward and one of his teammates just clips him. That wasn't good news at all. And doing a little bit more than clipping him was Quinn Ryan, getting right into the back of the 971 of Ward. Can't get around him and can't slow him down, so it's not doing much good for the Hawkeyes at the moment. There is Jason Long. He gets into Ward as well. He's in the wars here. Here's the tank, the 84 of Mike McLaughlin, and he's up on the concrete, and there's got a little bit of help to try and get him up onto the fence, and that's coming from Harley Robb in the 991. McLaughlin's come to a halt. Meantime, this is Jason Long, past New Zealand champion. Now, are we going to see red lights here? Because the cage looks a little bit exposed, and I think McLaughlin is stuck there. This is Quinn Ryan, and he's taken over the designated runner for the Hawke's Bay Hawkeyes. Yes, the red lights finally do come on, so we come down to a halt here in the final. It's the Canterbury Glen Eagles, the Suck It Up Eagles versus the Hawke's Bay Hawkeyes. Here it is on the replay. This is the tank heading for the concrete with a little bit of help from Harley Robb. So Robb earning his pay today. He gets the job done. Replay time, you're looking in on Quinn Ryan. There's the 66 of Tarrant facing pretty much the wrong way. So keep an eye on that. You're watching from the rear window of Jaden Ward. Now we switch to the front on shot. 53 Productions providing us with these amazing onboard pictures for the Superstocks. And away go the Glen Eagles. They are looking in command here. There's the 19C, the veteran Malcolm Nartai. The 977 of the 971, I should say, of Jaden Ward. They're running line astern at the moment, and there's nothing that the Hawke's Bay Hawkeyes can do about it. Asher Ree's doing the job for the Eagles as well. There is the 46 now. Is he the only one going? Quinn Ryan, is he the only one left going? There's Tarrant. He's trying to mount an attack and misses everything. There is Jason Long. He's a long way off the front running of the Canterbury Glen Eagles, the Suck It Up Eagles. We are going to see history in the making. The red lights come on again, and I would suggest that's for Randall Tarrant. He was facing the wrong way when he rejoined the field. Have a look at it on the replay. The judges are going to say he was facing against the traffic, and for safety reasons they put on the red lights. And the Eagles fans want him gone. Listen to them, look at them cheering. The official can't believe it, Tarrant can't believe it. He's going to wait it out as long as he can. Now he gets the message and he'll go off onto the infield. So now Hawke's Bay are weakened further. Tarrant on the infield now. Restart, and it's all the Eagles, the Suck It Up Eagles. Nartai heads to the front. There's 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hawke's Bay aren't in this. They were the champions 2 years ago. 19C, Malcolm Nartai from out the back window of Jaden Ward. They're running line astern at the moment, the Suck It Up Eagles. That's what they've been known as over this weekend, and they are going to suck it up. After 31 years of trying, unless Quinn can do anything about it, the Eagles are going to win the final here at Palmerston North. History-making stuff. 1 lap to go. Asher Ree's into the front now. The Eagles lying 1, 2, 3 and 4. Nothing that Quinn Ryan can do about it. Nothing that Jason Long can do about it. It's over for the Hawke's Bay Hawkeyes. It's just about to begin, though, for the Canterbury Glen Eagles. The Suck It Up Eagles have done it. They've made history here at Palmerston North. 30 plus years in the making. They do it in 2019. So it is Asher Ree's getting the win from Jason Long from Hawke's Bay, but then it's Quinn Ryan, Harley Robb and Malcolm Nartai. Asher Ree's gets the final for the Eagles. And they're lined up beside their fans, and their fans have come a long way for this and waited a long, long time. Celebrations have broken out here at Robertson Holden International Speedway, and it's all for the South Island team doing the Spider-Man impersonations.
Yeah, it was bloody awesome to follow Asher. I seen Jaden running shotgun for us, and I just sat in behind him. And our blocker he'd done his job, so we just went for a cruise. Asher drove an awesome race. He had a bloody good team around him, and what a victory! What can I say?
It's amazing. Yeah, once in a lifetime feeling, and great bunch of guys to do it with.
Well, look at the crowd. They love a good race, and they've seen a good race for 2019. The NZ Superstock Teams Nationals falls to the Suck It Up Eagles. The Canterbury Glen Eagles have done it. And the big crowd are happy with this, and I'm sure there'll be some local supporters celebrating with them as well. The Suck It Up Eagles are the 2019 Teams Champions, and this is how they did it. They beat Stratford Scrappers in round 1 of the qualifying. Then they went on to beat the Bay Park Busters in round 2. They met Palmerston North in the Tier 1 semis, but they were too good for the 18-time champions, and now they are the champions themselves.